Okay, let me
Yes,
just
sir.
go to the Middle East. So Ambassador Huckabee gave an interview earlier today, I think it was earlier today, maybe it was yesterday, but in which he called into question, or didn't call into question, they basically said that the administration is not particularly interested in seeking a two-state solution for the Israel-Palestinian conflict. And I want to know, I mean, he's been outspoken on this issue in the past, before he became ambassador. But is he speaking on his own, or is this now administration policy that you're no longer so um, interested in that kind of a resolution?
Well, first of all, I'm not going to characterize the ambassador's remarks. I'm not going to explain them or really comment on them at all. I think he certainly speaks for himself. At the same time, of course, ambassadors are there and they're working with their host country. But when it comes to American policy and certainly where the president stands, I'd suggest you call the White House. All right. Yes, Andrea Mitchell.
Hi, thank you, Tammy. Let me ask you about part of the potential enforcement of the administration's policies to deter illegal immigration. There is reporting of a potential plan to send undocumented immigrants or others who have been detained to Guantanamo, perhaps as soon as tomorrow. While there is a court case pending to rule out Guantanamo as a place to send people, saying that it is not necessary, it is too expensive, and that the conditions are intolerable. But that this would include Europeans from allied countries countries that would willingly accept deportations of their illegal immigrants here. So what is the State Department's position on whether European illegal immigrants, migrants, who've been detained should be sent to Guantanamo rather than to their host countries, including countries that would very willingly accept them? Do you think that this would damage relationships with our allies?
Well, first of all, I can tell you that this entire dynamic, it's managed by DHS, first of all. It's certainly not a dynamic managed by the State Department. I can also say that, of course, it's not new that we are moving criminal illegal aliens to Guantanamo prior. It's not the final destination. It's prior to their being sent to their home country. But when it comes to each country, I'm not going to speak to that. But I would suggest that,
I have a follow-up.
well, I won't speak to any country when it comes to the illegal aliens, the criminal aliens that may or may not be sent to Guantanamo Bay. That clearly sits within a diplomatic framework. You're asking me to speak on what the Secretary or others might be discussing with their foreign counterparts, and I'm certainly not going to do that. I'm not going to speculate, and nor will I guess or speculate on the nature of any kind of backlash or the impact on the State Department. What I can tell you is that the backlash would be as if we weren't doing our job. State Department and the Secretary has been very specific about our role, which is the vetting of people who are coming here in the first place, removing illegal aliens who are here, criminal illegal aliens, whether they've overstayed their visa or here illegally entirely. We're very focused on the nature of what the State Department has as its charge. And this is a framework, again, that's, as I just mentioned to Matt, where you've got a whole of government framework. The DHS is in charge of this particular aspect.
But if the DHS literally would be in charge, but does the State Department have a view about what the diplomatic impact would be on our allies?
Again,
And,
Andrea, you know I'm not here to speak about
will you speak
the
for the State
diplomatic
Department?
opinion or the speculation of the nature of the feelings of things. I'm here to talk about the specifics. You're right. You know, the United States has increased enforcement of immigration laws and removal of illegal aliens. They are being removed because they didn't have a legal basis to be in the United States. These are the why, you know, the visa dynamics, the nature of that we have the right, like every country does, to control who comes in and to have an interest in who stays. And that's what this is
Do you think that
about.
sending people to Guantanamo might have a salutary deterrent impact? Would that help the whole of government approach which you were describing?
What I can say is that this is a very specific mission to make American streets safer. And this is why President Trump was elected, to do exactly this.